I'm back. I thought I'd do a update slash what I read in Tome Topples, which is a readathon. My brain is still not working, obviously. A readathon that took part for the last 2 weeks. Excuse me, I'm still in my gym gear. Am I the only one that comes home from the gym and just sits here around? Probably. Also, I hope you don't mind the layout that I've got. I found there's more light downstairs, so I've got this picture behind me, which is quite nice, so I thought I'd sit here just on the floor near the couch. So, without further ado, I can't remember all the questions, as completely unskilled that I am. I haven't actually got the questions with me, but I kind of remember most of them. So the first one was read an adult book. So, I picked up this one, which is Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is an adult book. It was 765 pages in total, so it was a big conger. This is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, Life, the Universe and Everything, and So Long and Thanks to the Fish. So it's all in the trilogy of 4, which is what it says on the back, which I thought is fantastic, because if you've ever read the book or watched the film, you'll know it's a little bit different. I have got a review about this. I think I've got a blog update about how I've been doing so far. I absolutely love this. I thought the film, like watching the film, actually helped to gauge what I form an image of the characters and how they act and everything. However, I did think at some places it got too, I don't know what the word for it, it was too out there for me sometimes, and it wasn't believable in the slightest, although you did have to put yourself out of the norm and into this magical sci-fi place. It did go a bit too out there, and sometimes I lost track of the plot, where it was talking about, you talk about one thing and then it'd suddenly hop to another thing. So that's the only downside of this. But as it goes, 700 odd pages to read, nearly 800. I got through it quite quickly. I think I got through it in less than a week, so I didn't think that it's quite a chunker. Robin Hobb, The Ship of Magic, took me quite a while, I think quite a few weeks to get through. So that just proves that this was actually a really good book, and I would recommend this. I think I gave it 4.5 stars on Goodreads. I'm not entirely sure. So that's the first one I read. Then I broke it up with a comic, because one of the tasks that we had to do was to read a comic. So I read Paper Girls by Brian K. Vaughan, who writes Saga. I'm sure you've all heard of Saga by now. Absolutely amazing. This artwork is very different. It's different colouring to Saga, but the plot was really actually very good. It's about paper girls, hence the name, and they come across aliens, and we're not entirely sure who exactly they are. I have a feeling that it's people from the future, but I'm not entirely sure. It was a while ago that I read this. It was a couple of weeks now. But the artwork was amazing. I did read this. I think I got nightmares after it, actually, because lots of bad things happen in here. Spoiler alert. And yeah, it gave me I don't know. It made me feel a bit iffy afterwards. Just before bed when you're reading something and everyone dies. It's kind of, not everyone dies, but that's the sort of thing. But yeah, it's just, I'll show you some more artwork. Just amazing as per. The storyline was gripping, and I want to read volume 2 definitely. So that was what I read next. The next challenge was to read a book in a series. I just remembered another challenge was to read over 500 pages in a week. So I did that with The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is 700 pages. So the next one that I did was to read one in the series, as I said. And I picked, I don't even have to speak about this really, because I think everybody else on YouTube has been speaking about it, and BookTube. Cassandra Clare, Lady Midnight. I've read the Internal Devices series, which I really, really, really enjoyed. I've never read the Mortal Instruments. I have been watching the show, but it's stopped in the UK at the moment. I'm not sure when it's coming back. I'm not sure if I would read the Mortal Instruments, because I think I've been spoiled now, and there's spoilers in here, definitely for the Mortal Instruments. Yeah, feelings on this book. I thought it was bloody incredible. I didn't think I'd like it as much. I didn't think I'd like it as much as the Internal Devices. I did. I thought it was brilliant. I thought the characterisation was fantastic. You could really see the characters, like, you could see it all happening as you read it. Emma Carstairs, I hope that I'm pronouncing that right, is one of my favourite characters ever, I think. She is such a strong female character. And I just absolutely loved it. I'm really, really excited to see what happens with the Parapatai, I think so, bond in the book. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't worry about it. Read it first and then let me know what you think. I don't know. There's so many characters that I'm rooting for to get together in this book, and I'm not sure if it's going to happen, and love triangles and so many feels, all the feels in this book. I'm trying to think of what stood out to me the most. The story of Lady Midnight itself within the book, I'm really, really intrigued about, and I really want to find out what happens next with that. I just thought it was brilliant. I really, really enjoyed it. I flew through it. I've got the copy with the conversation, a long conversation in the back. I'm not sure if everyone's got that, but I've got this here. And it's with Clary and the characters from Mortal Instruments all talking together about everything, which has tons of spoilers in. I was reading it and I think I squealed at one point, really, really fangirling hard. But I have to say, Clary and Jace are not my favourite ship anymore. There's better ones in here. So yeah, definitely recommend this. If you have any doubts that it's going to, like, if it's not going to hit, like, the hype of Mortal Instruments, I know a lot of people were in that, or Internal Devices, pick it up, because it's great. It's absolutely great. I loved it. So, the next thing I did was, I'm going to count this in here anyway, because I read it around the same sort of time, or I listened to it. I've got a subscription to Amazon, Audible, Amazon, think of the name then. And I get one book a month to listen to, and this month I picked Ernest Cline, Armada. I loved Ready Player One. I demolished that book pretty quickly. I was on a train whilst reading it and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. This one, I listened to it, as I said, and it was by Will Wheaton, which was probably the best thing about this book. The plot was good. It had lots of twists. The ending, I'm really, really sorry. It was just, I'm so unsatisfied by the ending. I just really, really wanted to like this, and I really, up until the last couple of chapters, I think it was, I was really, really getting into it. I was listening to it with my boyfriend, and he was loving it, and then the ending happened, and just a bit of an anticlimactic one, I think, and it wasn't, I don't want to spoil it but for anyone, so maybe don't listen to it if you haven't read it, but it wasn't very believable, the ending at all. Like, up till then, it is about aliens invading England and everything, invading the whole of Earth. It was kind of like, I don't know, believable. It was more easy to suspend your disbelief until the end, and then I was like, what's happening? Okay, that was me. I think I gave this 3 stars on Goodreads. Will Wheaton's voice in it with all his different accents was 2 stars of that probably. So yeah, probably wouldn't recommend this. Although if you haven't read Ready Player One, definitely go read that because that was fantastic. So the next thing, getting into the last little bits here of this was this week, I finished today a comic that I was looking for ages, and I found it in Liverpool, I was in actually, in Waterstones, just randomly, and it is I Hate Fairyland by Scotty Young, and this was fantastic. I haven't rated it on Goodreads yet, but mark your words, this is going to be a 5-star comic. This is about a girl who, every so often, in a place called Fairyland, children get sent and they have to find a key. They have to do all these quests first. This girl, however, is now 23. Yeah, I want to say 23, nearly 30 years. And she's stuck in a 6-year-old's body and she's still trying to do this bloody quest and she can't do it. So she ends up killing everything because she's had enough. Like, she's just completely had enough of being in this quest. She wants to go home. It's quite gruesome in here. I didn't think it would. Like, from the outside, it does look a bit gruesome. But it's like, even the back, that's meant to be the moon. Like, it's quite graphic. Not for children in the slightest. Definitely an adult novel. It's reminded me a lot like Walter Moore books. So the first one that I read was 13½ Lives of Captain Bluebear, which is the whole concept of it is like a children's book, but it's really like an adult content inside, and I don't think any children would actually read them, because I don't think they're like chunky books and they're really, you have to get into them. Reminded me of that, but I'll show you some artwork in here. But it's not nearly as gruesome as that. This one is so gross. Did you see? And that is her protagonist being meshed together. But it was absolutely brilliant. And the ending, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but the ending was fantastic. It really leaves it open for volume 2. And I'm super, super excited for volume 2. And this is definitely going to be, sometimes I read comics and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to continue with these. I'm going to continue with this. Mark my words, this will be a series that I keep following for a very long time. So that is I Hate Fairyland. So the last little bits, I'm just keeping, I know it's meant to break up with one comic on the Tomes Topples, but I just thought, because it's a Sunday today, I've just gone work and now I went to the gym and I just want to chill before I start reading the other books that I'm meant to be reading. I was just going to pick up some more comics. So, got a bit of an embarrassing one here. I saw this ages ago and I used to watch the show when I was younger all the time. I've got Sailor Moon. I just love Sailor Moon. I used to absolutely love this show. My favourite guys there. They're so cute. So I've got this, I'm going to just read this. Usually manga only takes me like an hour to flick through. And so I'm going to be reading this next. And then I totally forgot that I had on my bookcase one of the comics that I do stay true to, and I do buy the papers of them every month if I can remember. If not, I buy them the next month, like the month before one the next month. And that is Saga. And I've still got to read this. I'm on chapter 36, loving the story. It's gotten a bit bland for me at the moment, but I won't say too much because I know a lot of people are reading the combined chapters, so you won't be that far into the story as the single issues, but I will see what happens with this. I'm very excited. Kind of know what wants to happen. There's some things that I want to happen, but I'm not entirely sure are going to happen, so I'm going to read this and see if they actually happen, and we'll have a go. So I've got that. So, all in all, I think I've done pretty well. Considering I haven't read the books that I'm going to read today yet, I won't add them to the pile, but I read the last 2 weeks. I finished this on audiobook, so I probably shouldn't count that, but not bad. And I've done all the challenges, I believe. I did a blog post halfway through, and I think I'd done all the challenges pretty much anyway by halfway through. So today is now the last day, and I really, really enjoyed it. So thank you very much to hosting it. I think it's Sam. I'm not entirely sure who hosts it, but I will, if I learn how to do all this YouTube stuff, I will link their channel down below. There's loads of people, if you're on BookTube, there's loads of people doing it anyway. So I'm sure you'll see everyone else's vlogs and updates on the readathon. So yeah, I did it, and I'm just going to go read those books now, and stay tuned for more videos. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll speak to you later. Bye!